Hey everyone, this is Lindsay. In this tutorial, I wanted to walk you through how to make a change to an invoice date. So to begin, we're going to start on our invoice, and in the right hand corner you see you have the invoice overview box, and right there is the date that the invoice has been created. But if you need to change that date for any reason, we now have an option for you to do so. Let's go to our Utilities tab. Once you're on the Utilities tab, towards the bottom you see that option that says Allow Invoice Date Changes. We're simply going to click that, and after you click it, you'll notice that it changes the wording to Disallow Invoice Date Changes, so that's fine. We're going to leave that as is, and we'll come back to that in a moment. But for now, let's go back to that invoice we were on. Now where the invoice date is, you can now click in that text field and modify your invoice date. Right below that, you also have the option to add an alternate invoice number. Perhaps your resources use their own invoice numbers and you need to add that on the invoice. You can do that there. Once you've made all those changes, always update to save them. And now that we've updated, I want to take you and look at the invoice and show you where those changes would appear. Once we've opened the invoice, we now see that we have the invoice number, the alternate invoice number, and that modified invoice date. So now I'm going to click my cancel button just to get out of this screen. And once we're back on our invoice, we would suggest that if changing an invoice date is not something that you do often, that you go back to the Utilities tab and go ahead and click Disallow Invoice Date Changes. And know that you can always come back to this option and allow that change for another invoice in the future if need be.